All right, welcome back to the channel. Vasyl Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, man, I am looking forward to this fight. It is a little, what is this, March 5th? So it's still about 2 months out. So you have all of March, April, so 12 weeks out from a fight between Vasyl Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, which I think could very well be the shocker of the year. And I'm going to tell you why. And also, Robert Garcia, the trainer for Mikey Garcia, one of the best trainers in boxing, well-known trainers in boxing, thinks that I could be right about that and that Teofimo Lopez has a good shot to beat Vasyl Lomachenko. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Now, please note that I'm making video about Teofimo Lopez and Vasyl Lomachenko. If I did not like Vasyl Lomachenko as a fighter, and I did not think he was a good fighter, I would not be making videos about Vasyl Lomachenko 3 months away from his fight. If I did not like Teofimo Lopez and think that Teofimo Lopez was a very, very good fighter, I would not be making a video about Teofimo Lopez's ability to beat Vasyl Lomachenko months away from a fight. Okay, so for all y'all to think that the only people that I like are black fighters, it's just not true. Y'all just mistreat a lot of those fighters. So hey man, it's my platform, so I get to call it out. But now let's talk about Vasyl Lomachenko, who I have as one of the top fighters in boxing. I have him underneath Terrence Crawford at number 2. Pound for pound fighter in the world. That is a very high ranking. I have him above Canelo Alvarez. That's because Canelo Alvarez popped dirty for Combuterol. And once you pop dirty for a performance enhancing drug, that is forever and always puts you up off of my list of pound for pound, because I got to wonder whether or not you're a cheater or not. It's just what it is. Tyson Fury, same thing. Tyson Fury is an excellent fighter, deserves all the credit in the world for beating Deontay Wilder. But when hey man, when somebody says that his knuckles are hanging out of a glove, right? And I can see the knuckles hanging out of the glove, I would say, hey man, maybe I should give him the benefit of the doubt, because hey, that could just be a fluke kind of funny way that the picture looked. But then I remember that he tested positive for performance enhancing drugs after the Vladimir Klitschko fight, and he's suspended for 2 years for violating performance enhancing drug rules. And he's also on tape saying that everybody in boxing cheats, including himself. Then hey man, I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt, so I can't put him there high. That's the Canelo Alvarez explanation. But Vasyl Lomachenko, that has not been the case. Teofimo Lopez, that's not been the case. These guys have just shown that they are very talented and excellent fighters. But as this fight comes up, I got to tell you, man, that it's tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock for Vasyl Lomachenko. Okay? Now, everybody believes that, that nobody thinks that their favorite fighter can lose until they lose. It's just kind of how it works. Everybody's undefeatable until they're defeated. Well, Vasyl Lomachenko is a little bit different. People just forget that he was defeated, right? Just forget that he was defeated and believe that he's undefeatable. But if you've looked carefully at Vasyl Lomachenko enough since he's moved to 135, really 130 and 135 pounds. Vasyl Lomachenko definitely at 135 pounds has been getting tested much more severely than he was at 126 and at 130. He got knocked down in a fight against Jorge Linares, which I do believe he wound up winning by knockout with a body shot to Jorge Linares. For me, that is still my favorite Vasyl Lomachenko fight, because that was not an easy fight for him. He also went the distance with Jose Pedraza. Jose Pedraza was a former 130-pound fighter that Gervonta Davis ran through. Okay, he ran through him. He didn't just beat him, he ran through him. Vasyl Lomachenko went the distance and got cut up a little bit, man. If you look at the eyes of Vasyl Lomachenko, you'll notice that it's cutting a lot more easily, because he's what he calls scar tissue over his eyes. I think he's got a good amount of scar tissue over both of his eyes, man. The guy's, he's just been around a long time. He's taken a lot of shots and he does get hit. So 135. And then he wound up going the distance with Luke Campbell, right? And Luke Campbell, I think he beat Luke Campbell convincingly, but it definitely was a harder go than it was for him at 30 pounds, where Vasyl Lomachenko, I don't think he only really fought one guy at that weight class, which was, in 2017, he only fought one guy at that weight class, and that was Jason Sosa, because Miguel Mariaga was coming up from 126 pounds. He wasn't at 130 pounds at the time, and the proof of that is that Miguel Mariaga is fighting is going to be fighting Shakur Stevenson. I do believe that's coming up pretty soon. Miguel Mariaga is going to be fighting him for a 126-pound belt, not a 130-pound belt, a 126-pound belt, because that's where he was fighting before the Vasyl Lomachenko fight. And from what I understand, that's where he fought after that Vasyl Lomachenko fight. So Vasyl Lomachenko, the only guy that he fought above 130, that was really a 130-pounder, I do believe, was Jason Sosa. And Jason Sosa is more of like a journeyman, man. He also beat Nicholas Walters. He beat Nicholas Walters too. Right. So, but that was a while ago. I just think that, man, the fact that Vasyl Lomachenko has been getting hit more and more at lightweight, combined with the fact that Teofimo Lopez is just not the guy that you want to have hit you, because he has the ability really to lay you out. Now, what Robert Garcia said was pretty much the same thing. He says that he favors. He favors Vasyl Lomachenko to win by a decision, that Teofimo Lopez has the confidence, he has the power. Vasyl Lomachenko's been hit, so Vasyl Lomachenko, he has all the tools to beat Vasyl Lomachenko. Now, the thing for me that pulls it over the edge for Teofimo Lopez, and I've said this before, I'm going to continue to harp on it, is it's the Top Rank angle that makes me feel real funny for Vasyl Lomachenko, man. Makes me feel real funny, because he's going to be coming in as a favorite in that fight. I haven't looked at the odds, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be coming in as a favorite in that fight. But Teofimo Lopez is he's the prospect not the prospect, because he's a champion. He's the IBF champion. And I do believe he's beaten the best competition. He's beaten, with that win over Richard Comey, I think Teofimo Lopez might have actually beaten better competition at 135 than Vasyl Lomachenko has. Because I think that Richard Comey, I would take Richard Comey over pretty much any guy that Vasyl Lomachenko beat. But that's not the overarching reason why. It's just that Bob Arum what always just sticks in my craw about Bob Arum is that he has said in the past that his young champions, he doesn't have his contenders fight for championships that he doesn't believe his contenders can win. So I don't believe that he would be even with Teofimo Lopez, I don't think he would have Teofimo Lopez fight Vasyl Lomachenko if he thought that this was a fight that Teofimo Lopez was going to get embarrassed in, because that wouldn't suit Top Rank. There's not enough money. First of all, there's not enough money in the fight for them to just throw away Teofimo Lopez for. This fight is going to be on ESPN. It's going to be on regular ESPN. So, it's not some situation where, it's going to be the ticket sales and whatever the licensing fees are that ESPN, those are going to be the main sources of the revenue for the fight. So I really don't see how they're going to be willing. It's not like a $50 million fight or a $100 million fight. It's not the size of a Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder fight where they could be like, yeah, okay, we'll take it. Or better yet, a Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather fight where they're like, yeah, okay, we might not be comfortable with Manny Pacquiao winning, but we're going to make so much money that it doesn't make a difference, right? And we can rebuild Manny Pacquiao. Teofimo Lopez, if he loses convincingly to Vasyl Lomachenko, then you're stuck with an old man who's going to get beaten, okay? He's lost before. The loss is coming soon for Vasyl Lomachenko because he's getting older. He's getting hit more. People are more used to. There's no more Lomachenko, okay? At the heights of Vasyl Lomachenko, it was Lomachenko. People couldn't figure him out. People couldn't figure out how not to get hit. He was just rolling over these dudes. You know, for the most part, that was, you know, the type of guys that I was saying, you know, that I mentioned that really weren't 130-pound fighters. But that's not happening at 135. It just seems to throw Teofimo Lopez away to Vasyl Lomachenko from a matchmaking point of view just doesn't make sense. So, you know, I think Teofimo Lopez can beat him. I'm hedging like on what I think is going to happen because I could go with Robert Garcia's prediction that it could be a unanimous, it could be a decision win for Vasyl Lomachenko, and maybe they could rerun it. Or Vasyl Lomachenko can get knocked out and hurt really bad by Teofimo Lopez because, man, that dude is a very good fighter and he hits very hard. But anyway, I just wanted to go over that, man. It's a fight that I'm really excited for. A unification fight at lightweight with all three of the belts. That's a good thing going on over there at Top Rank. Anyway, it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Peace.